Okay, I just wanted to follow on from that little video. I was just approaching a sheep with fields in, a field with sheep in, and I thought I would just break off there. Such a beautiful evening here. I'm quite blown away by how lovely it is actually, and I was desperate to just get out on this walk, but it's almost quite blinding. I can't actually see you, or me I should say. I wanted to follow up on what I recorded yesterday, which related to the analogy of your emotions being like a beach ball that you hold beneath the waves. And the waves in the ocean represent life, which is sometimes choppy, sometimes calm. And how when life gets difficult, we can lose our grip, and that's when the emotions come up. And after I'd recorded it, I thought, well, what I felt I didn't do was touch on what that might look like for you. You know, what do you mean when we lose a grip on the beach ball, when we lose a grip on our emotions? What do I mean by that? So that could look like an argument or conflict in your relationship. If there are frequent arguments or conflicts, there are emotions that are not being processed, and I will touch on what I mean by processing emotions in a sec. It could also be it could manifest, I suppose, itself in as some form of a breakdown, for instance. I use that tentatively because there can be so many triggers and sources of that. But I think a word or a term that is used really widely at the moment is burnout. That's a really good example of that. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. Oh, I can't keep going anymore. And it's almost like a shutdown. So that slipping of the ball coming up, that explosion, if you like, could be, could manifest itself by way of an argument, by way of a conflict, by way of walking out of work, by way of firing back at the children, by way of getting cross with your husband, partner, boss, by way of, those spontaneous I've had enough moments. Spotty, come to heel. But literally not healing in this field. Or by way of your entire being just coming to a standstill. And I see this so often, and this is often what brings people to my work, to my coaching. It's that something's got to change, I've had enough. And so that's what that might look like. Now, what do I mean by processing emotions? Because it's such I don't really like jargon. I don't like, terminology that you just can't relate or connect to. Unprocessed emotions literally means you get that signal, I am upset, I am stressed, I am overwhelmed, and you do nothing with it. What we tend to do with those signals, as I describe them, is make them mean, well, that just means that life's bad, life's a bit crap, but it's not useful in any way when it's seen in that way. It's just a representation of how life is. It's overwhelming, it's stressful, it's upsetting, all of the things that we don't like. And what I try and encourage people I work with to do is to take that emotion and be with it. So on the walk with me practice, I think the other day I said, when you have those thoughts, just let them be, just notice what they are. in those quiet moments, that's when we can do that. And it's the same principle with your emotions. If you're conscious that, you know, I am stressed has pretty much become an identity for you, then it's something that you can just be with for a bit and say, why is that? What is going on for me? And that is how you begin to process. It's sort of almost being an observer to those emotions rather than being in them. They do not mean that you're crap, life's crap, or anything like that, you know. Confidence is another one that comes up a lot, you know, as in lack of confidence, especially in career, business and the workplace, or also in relation to relationships, and especially seeking relationships. I feel like I'm saluting, I'm shielding myself from the sun. So if you saw that video from last night, which I didn't upload until this evening because it's been such a busy weekend and I'm not entirely sure that my newsletter's going to go out today. I'm going to see how we get on. But listen to that analogy. I cannot emphasize enough, and it's going to have to be in a separate video that I go deeper into this. These negative emotions that we talk about so much, that bring us to the point of asking for help or to the point of withdrawing, right? The aim is not to get rid of them. The aim is to listen, understand and interpret them in a way that allows us to move on and make life feel better. That is all they are. So that analogy of a beach ball, and how I think I might have said at the end of the video, you know, if you imagine, rather than just holding that beach ball down, and then it's slipping out when the waves get rough, if you just be with them, they become a life raft, because they are literally there to signal to you something's up and it needs addressing. And instead of the meaning being, this means that life is crap, or I'm useless, or I can't do this, the meaning becomes, what can I do to make this better, which is something else I've mentioned before. I need to find my dog. So I'm going to leave that with you. We are going into day 16 for me, I think. Day 17 tomorrow. I'd love to know where you are. I haven't got my earphones in because I wanted to do these videos, and I said that yesterday. I have been doing, I'm walking like twice the amount that I used to, so that I can do my walk with me practice and record videos as well. But anyway, I'd love to know how you're getting on. Walk, listen, share.